evening, Insightful Gang. What's up?
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing this evening?
We hope y'all doing good this evening on this Tuesday night. Whoop, whoop. Back for episode 4 of Insightful Conversation with SNL. It looks like we got one person logged on right now, so we'll just wait a few minutes to kind of get some more people to come in. But before we get started, we got to introduce ourselves to our loyal listeners and viewers, but also to any new visitors that we may have. So I am your girl, Shaniqua, aka S.
And I am Lakeisha, aka L.
And together we make Insightful Conversations with SNL. Now, I know y'all probably missed us 2 weeks ago. We did a little pre-recorded episode, but we want to shout out all the people that did come and watch the premiere with us and commented with us. We really appreciate that. So we hope that you all enjoyed that episode and got something out of it. So, but Keisha, how has your week been going?
So far, so good, because I cannot complain. Work is going good. Our college students are approaching the end of the semester. So of course they're, packing up, but also getting ready for final exams, for our seniors. Luckily this year, they are going to be able to have an in-person graduation. So I know that that's very exciting for them and their families, although they won't be doing, the big graduations like they've done in the past at Florida State University. They're doing the graduations centered around each individual college that the students are graduating from. So shout out to those students just across the nation. Happy graduation to those of you all that's getting your associates, your bachelors, your masters, your educationist specialist degree,
and the
your doctorate.
Can't forget about the doctorate. Shout out to the doctors.
Doctorates. Yes. What about yourself, cuz? What about yourself?
My week has been going pretty well so far. I took yesterday off, to kind of get rejuvenated, refreshed, rest, and all of that. And I really enjoyed that. So It was good. And I'm just ready, to finish this week strong. Tomorrow's hump day. So, always glad about that. So we're pretty good. No complaints.
And cuz I got to say that you are rocking this hairstyle. I love it.
I have to try something different.
Yes.
I love to experiment and play around with different looks and things like that. So many people have told me that I look like my mom.
You do.
With this hairstyle. And I agree, because when I was talking to her on a video call not too long ago, I think it might have been a few days ago, I felt like I literally was looking at myself in the little camera. When you can look at yourself?
Oh, yeah.
I felt like I was just looking at her. So I was just like, okay, yeah. So I've been told I look more mature.
You do.
With a short haircut.
You do. You got your grown, sexy, grown woman status going on with this new do.
Well, I try. Yes. Okay, and let's talk about yours. Let's get into this, what you got going on. The curls, I'm here for it, sis. Yes.
You is a mess.
Yes. So let's see who we got. Okay, Audrey, yes.
Hey, Audrey.
How you doing? Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for joining us, our classmate. If there's anybody else that's watching or listening to us right now, feel free to put yourself in the comments too. We want to shout you out like we always do. So, yes, bestie. Yes, Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hey, Tiffany. Kiss nephew for me.
He's adorable.
Yes. Good seeing you too, Audrey. Yes. So I think we got a few people on here. Okay. Alicia, come on.
Hey, good evening. Okay. Come on in.
Okay, we appreciate it. I guess the topic must have got y'all intrigued. The promo. Because I'm like, yes, y'all coming with it tonight. I'm with it. All right, so you want to go ahead and get started?
We can, because let's go ahead and do so.
Okay. So y'all, with everything that has been going on in the last few weeks since we did an episode, we just had to dedicate an episode particularly just for buzzworthy topics. So we calling this episode What's the Buzz? Okay. So as y'all saw in our promo, there's been so much going on, from like the Lil Nas X controversy. You got things going on with the voting stuff in Georgia. You got still got the COVID vaccines out there and everything like that. So we just kind of wanted to talk about just a few things, give our opinion about some of the things that's going on currently. So which one we want to get started with?
Let's talk about the situation surrounding Quavo and his ex.
Okay, so Quavo and his ex Saweetie. For those y'all don't know, Quavo is a rapper from the group The Migos, right? And he was in a relationship with a female rapper named Saweetie, and I think they were together for what, two years, maybe something like that.
I want to say so, yeah.
And so they broke up recently. I think it might have been like the past few weeks or whatever. And basically, Saweetie was the one that released a statement talking about it. And she was explaining about how she just wasn't happy, you know, in the relationship anymore. And she just felt like, you know, she was tired or whatever. And she pretty much announced that she was single. Okay.
She also, though, inserted in her statement via social media that there had been some infidelity in their relationship, as to why, which is one of the many reasons why she decided to, you know, step out or depart from Quavo.
Yeah. And so he released his own statement too. Basically, when she posted that she was single or whatever, I guess he got in his feelings because she told, you know, what was going on, or from her perspective or whatever. And he was just basically saying like, oh, you're not the person that I thought you was, and all this stuff like that, you know. Just, I guess he got mad because he couldn't explain his side of the story first. I don't know. But anyway, so what everybody's been talking about with Quavo and Saweetie is this video that came out of them basically having a physical altercation in the elevator. Now, I thought that this was a recent video until did research, and we found out that it was from a year ago. How this ended up coming out now, I don't know. Do you know how it came out?
I do not know. They haven't really said much of how the video got leaked and things like that. I do know that the incident did take place at Saweetie's apartment.
Okay.
And things like that. But both of them did come out on social media and say, you know, that that was a time in their relationship where it was turbulent and things of that nature. And it was unfortunate, you know, that, you know, the incident was caught on camera and things like that. Neither one of them don't necessarily wish any ill will towards the other individual moving forward with their lives. It was just unfortunate, like I said, that the audio, well, not the audio, the visual was leaked to the public. And as a result, like I said, there's been various memes that have been put out about the incident. Of course, there has been outcries from various community, you know, centered around domestic violence and physical abuse and things of that nature. So like I said, it's just very unfortunate. Both of them are young. Not only in age, but also just in their careers and things of that nature. And so unfortunately, when you are, you know, at the top of your game, as they are when it comes to rap and hip hop and things like that, you know, unfortunately, the good, the bad, and the ugly tends to play out your whole life in front of people. And like I said, it's unfortunate. At the end of the day, only the two of them really know
exactly
what went down in the relationship, and as to why they both have decided to part ways. If anything, I just hope and pray that they learn whatever lessons needed to be learned from the two of them being together, and that this makes both of them stronger individually. It makes them stronger from a musicianship standpoint of view, and even moving forward into the next relationship, that they will be better mates than they were to one another.
I agree. But you know what? I was just thinking a lot of stuff be going down in elevators. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, when I watched that video, it took me back to the whole Solange, Beyonce, and Jay-Z type situation. I was just like, yeah. And then you could tell, like, watching that video, Quavo had looked at the camera that was in that elevator. He was like, oh, now, like, maybe we shouldn't have showed this or whatever. So, but like you said, you know, we just hope that they can learn and grow from this situation or whatever. And I'm glad that, you know, Saweetie, you know, knew what a toxic relationship looked like and made the decision to get out. So that's always the most important thing. Value yourself, know yourself, and love yourself. And know when you need to end a situation.
Exactly. Cuz.
Oh, and Insightful Gang, at any moment during this episode, if y'all want to chime in about y'all opinions regarding any of the hot topics or buzzworthy topics that we talking about, feel free to do so, and we gonna shout y'all out like we always do. Okay, so what's next? What we got now?
So I don't know how many of you all have been following this story, but I actually was a subscriber to this particular YouTube influencer, and was shocked, disappointed when the news came out.
And is it Derrick Jaxn?
None other than Mr. Jackson himself. So for those of you all that may not know who Derrick Jaxn is, basically he is a self-proclaimed relationship guru. He had like over 1 million plus, you know, followers when it came to, you know, Instagram and his YouTube pages and things of that nature. He grew in influence. He would do these short video snippets, basically giving women advice about, you know, toxicity, you know, talking about traits of a good man, a good woman, how to better yourself, and things like that.
Question real quick, cuz is he like because I had never heard of him. Let me just say, I had never heard of him until this scandal broke or whatever about him. So is he basically like a self-proclaimed relationship expert?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But he has put out like over 12 books. He has various products. I actually brought a card game from him a couple of years ago. And actually the card game is based around like conversational starters. So if you're like with a group of people, or maybe let's say you just meet somebody for the first time, and you don't necessarily want to keep talking about the same type of things and topics, where you can pull out his card game, and there's a whole plethora of different avenues that you can go with it. But like I said, women, particularly Black women, were livid with him for the simple fact a lot of them, you know, champion him. They see him as an advocate, as a god, in a sense, for some women. And then, like I said, if you all don't know the whole situation, basically he was ousted by several women with regards to cheating on his wife and things of that nature. The crazy thing is that we had never really even seen the wife, for those who followed him, until this incident went down. You know, they went on social media, they came out with a video together, they did some Q&A. His wife has been very vocal on social media in her stance to remain by her husband's side and things of that nature. And like I said, there are people that are definitely supporting them, and then there are people that are, like I said, definitely want to cancel him and things like that. So it's just a lot that's been going on. I think they said the most recent mistress, he said he had all of this kind of went down during the pandemic while we were in quarantine. But a surgeon from Atlanta actually came out about a couple of weeks ago to a podcaster by the name of Tasha K, and basically ousted him and said, no. You know, we had just been messing around even as of late, and things of that nature. So it was just, like I said, just more as devastation as far as his wife and his family were concerned. Like I said, I think for most women who looked up to Derrick, if anything should be learned from this situation, he's human, just like anybody else. Two, when we put people on a pedestal, my mama used to always say, and she says this to the day, when you are at the very top, the only direction that you have to go is down. So two, we need to be very conscious when it comes to who we worship or who we praise, who we aspire to be or who we look up to, and things like that. So if you're putting your all in all into a YouTube influencer, and then, like I said, for whatever reason, they fall from grace. Two, like I said, there's nothing wrong with you feeling the way that you feel towards this person. With you want to counsel them, you want to still, support them and be by their side. You're angry, you have feelings of resentment, but also too, you have to check yourself as well, because we should never ever be putting all of our power, into somebody and a facade that they may be putting on, because we all know when it comes to social media and when it comes to putting on flares, I can be who I am. I can be who I want to be when it comes to public. So I can make it seem like my life is just so grand and I got this and I got that going on. And then I just got this picturesque family and we just living our best life. And behind closed doors, it could be the total opposite. So that's like I said, that's one thing that I just learned from his situation that got brought to my mind. Like, you got to be careful who you put on pedestals and check yourself, because also there may be some self-esteem issues, some self-worth issues that you need to get in check as well.
Right. Now, see, I didn't know that he was that highly. I mean, I knew that he was influential, but I didn't know like he had that many followers or whatever. Just some of the videos that I had watched of him, does he always speak of himself in the third person? Because that's what I saw a lot of them. Like, it feel like he was trying to, like, I don't know. I didn't like that. I don't know, because is that typically how he does things? Okay. And this video that he put out, with his wife in terms of, I guess their statement or whatever. Personally, this is my personal opinion. I kind of felt like he set her up to be ridiculed. I'm not, judging her by any means. If she decides that she wants to continue to stay in the marriage or whatever, that's her business or whatever. But I don't know. To me, I just didn't like the fact that he seemed to be, oh, let me put my wife in here, to basically say this or whatever.
Do damage control.
Right, to do damage control. And to me, it sounded like it was rehearsed. It sounded like she didn't really want to be there. Just, I look at people's eyes and stuff, just what I got from her, just facial expressions, where she seemed like she didn't want to be there. And, I just feel like, why are we going in on her? Like, I didn't like that. Talking about her bonnet and all this stuff like that. I mean, like, it just wasn't necessary. To me, anything, I felt sorry for her. Like, I'm not going to sit up here, like I said, and judge her because of that. Because, like, that's her decision if she wants to stay in that marriage. But I just felt like it was, I felt like he was just setting her up to be ridiculed, honestly.
And like I said, we have to be careful, when we sit up here and we poke and we prod, at people, because you don't necessarily know what's waiting for you up the road.
True.
And if not you, one of your loved ones. And so I think a lot of times in the African-American community, we can be so critical of one another. And I don't get that. To me, if anything, people should have been rallying, behind her.
Right, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, but instead, like I said, like you said, she was being ridiculed all over, social media because of how she appeared and things of that nature. We don't necessarily know, like I said, what went down in that household, what happened. He could have just came to her, 5 minutes before they went on, or, she could have been just my frame. Like, I'm just tired and I'm just fed up. I look how it is that I look. And you just deal with it, that type of thing. But at the end of the day, it's their relationship. And if they, want to continue forth with their marriage, who are we to sit up here and say so? Like I said, you can voice your opinion, but at the end of the day, it's not necessarily going to affect them. They're the only two at the end of the day that can make the decision moving forward if they're going to stay together or not.
Right. And it's not our lives to live.
Exactly.
It's on them. So, it seems like all of this goes back to cancel culture. Episode 3, like what we talked about. So if y'all still ain't watched it, go ahead, cop that episode, whenever you get a chance. But yeah, so it all goes back to that.
I agree.
All right. So let's talk about DMX. Okay. For those that y'all don't know, whatever, DMX, the rapper, is currently in the hospital, basically fighting for his life. Right now, it was due to what they say is a drug overdose, and that led to a heart attack.
Right.
And I just want to say I'm a very big DMX fan, and I really want him to pull through, because I know that he's very strong. Not only is he crazy talented, but also the fact I love like the fact that how strong a relationship he has with God. Like he's very spiritual and things like that, despite, his history with addictions and things like that. And I know like if he is to pull through from this, he will have like such an awesome testimony to give to people about just his experience and things like that. Addiction is real, y'all.
Yes,
and
it is.
And I read some comments online where they were talking about, oh, he put himself in this situation or whatever have you. That just goes to show that y'all don't know that addiction is an illness. Like it is a disease.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And let's not bash. Let's don't do any bashing. Let's just lift him up in prayer and, let God's will be done. You know what I'm saying? For healing and things like that.
Yes. They were saying, I was reading earlier today, cause that they, a visual was actually held, for him on yesterday. A lot of his fans came out. They said even a lot of the medical staff, at the hospital, and of course his family, fiance, his kids were out there, as well. So, he has a lot of support for those of us who were born in the 80s, that was raised in the 90s, who enjoyed listening to rap and hip hop, from those artists during that time. Like I said, DMX was one of those writers that we grew up with, and even listening to the Rough Riders as well. And so my heart, my prayers go out to him. I remember, I cannot think of the reality show that he was on. I want to say in the 90s or the early 2000s, where he came out about his battle with addiction. For some of you all that may not know, he's been struggling with his crack cocaine addiction since the age of 14. He has sought help, and it's normal. Like I said, for those of us who work in the mental health field, we're used to seeing individuals. Like I said, some people, go into these facilities or they seek help and assistance, and the first time around, they're good to go, after they receive the necessary treatment and things of that nature. But for some people, this is going to be an ever, roller coaster ride for them. They will do well for some time, and then for whatever reason, they will relapse, and then they'll do well for some time, and then they will relapse. And so it takes a strong support system around individuals who are battling substance abuse and alcoholism and things of that nature, for them to be healed. So just like you, cuz, I am wishing him the best. His testimony is going to be awesome. And we just hope and pray that it's God's will, that he pulls through this time around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And so, because I remember seeing him, I want to say, was in an interview or something I read about him a few months ago, where he actually, I think he did go back to rehab or whatever. And I thought that he was doing better. But that just goes to show what you were saying about, relapse, the stages of it and things like that, But like I said, rather than just bashing, let's just lift him up in prayer and just be there for him, especially for his children and I think he has a fiance, and things like that. So that's all we can do.
Yeah. And they say his youngest child, he has 15 kids in total. His youngest baby is 4 years old. So, I mean, that's a baby, literally, to possibly end up being without their father in their lives. So like I said, we're wishing him the best. We're wishing him, like I said, he will come out of this vegetative state, and that he goes on to live many more years. Even if he decides to do music or not, but just to show him, like, you do have love around you. You do have people that are praying for you and that want the best for you. And hopefully this will be the end all with regards to him getting his life on track.
Exactly. Okay. So what else we got?
Oh, for those of you all who are big fans of Fantasia Barrino, I love Tasia. I
I do too.
fell in love with Tasia. Tasia probably is the number one reason why I started watching American Idol.
I voted for her.
Yeah, that season, man, even to this day, man, when I tell you they had some singing, no singing, some singing women that season who have gone on to do, great things in their respective rights and things like that. But like I said, just have been following Tasia ever since then. She was rushed to the hospital on Sunday morning, Easter Day, Resurrection Sunday. She's been experiencing contractions. As you all know, she and her husband are expecting. She is currently 6 months pregnant, and throughout her pregnancy, she's been very open, very transparent with her audience, just about the highs and lows that her and her husband have had to deal with in their journey to become pregnant. Although she has other kids from previous relationships and things of that nature, we all know as a woman, as you begin to age and mature, your body's changing and things of that nature, that 9 out of 10 times there's a greater possibility after age 35 that you will start to experience complications with not only carrying a child full term, but even with delivery and things of that nature. She did inform her audience on Instagram later that day, Monday morning, that she is doing a whole lot better, that her contractions are beginning to slow down. Basically she's tired, just as most pregnant women during that time will be. But she and her husband are very optimistic that everything is going to be fine, that she will be able to carry this baby to full term, and that eventually they will see their baby into the world. So she's another individual, like I said, that we need to keep her and her family lifted up in prayer as well.
Is it a baby girl?
It is. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yay. Yeah, we'll definitely be lifting up in prayer. Yeah. Thank you for bringing her up.
You welcome, cuz. You welcome.
Because
I tell you, if you never seen Fantasia in concert, honey, you need to put that on your bucket list. Anybody, if you're into music, and I don't care what kind of music you're in, R&B, rap, hip hop, gospel, country, bluegrass, jazz, talking about somebody that can sing, and she is so versatile. Like when I tell you she is a triple threat, Tasia is no joke. Like her vocal range is just crazy to me. I actually got the opportunity to see her. She came here a couple of years ago to Tallahassee. She was the main feature during the Funk Fest. And honey, everything that you see on social media, she kicks them shoes off. Not only can she sing, her background singers can sing. And I love the fact that she gives her background singers the opportunity to put themselves out there and to showcase, what it is that they're about and things like that. So like I said, she is, just a wonderful, wonderful person to know. I don't know her individually, but like I said, just her story. Like I said, her journey to American Idol and beyond. Like I said, honey, Tasia is a testimony within ourselves, within our own right.
Yeah, she definitely puts on the show. I've seen her quite a few times in concert as well, and definitely got my money's worth.
Yes.
I really enjoyed her. She's definitely anointed. She's got that.
She is.
Blessings from God. Okay, so shout out Davon. Yes.
Yay.
I don't know what the exclamation points are about, but okay. I'm sure you'll maybe say something later if you want to. But anyway, so moving on, versus battles.
Yes.
All right. We had the most recent versus battle on Easter. Did you watch between the Earth, Wind, and Fire versus the Isley Brothers?
I only watched a little of it because I was out and about with my family, so I wasn't able to watch it in real time, but watched just a little bit of it. Like I said, after it was filmed. How about yourself?
Okay, so let me just say this: I did watch for the most part, but I fell asleep. Not because it was boring, because it was awesome, but it was a little long for me. Most versus battles usually be about maybe 3 hours, something like that. This one about like 4 hours. I'm not kidding you. No, seriously, because it didn't end from like, I think it ended like at midnight or something like that. Wow. And because I still had like my computer where I was watching it, and like I had went to sleep a little bit, dozed out, and then when I woke back up, like it was still on. It was like midnight, and that's when it was going. I'm like, God, they really went through their whole entire catalog. But nonetheless, it was awesome. I did get a chance to hear the songs that I personally love by each one. And so I was able to stay up to watch that. Steve Harvey was the host.
I saw that.
And I was talking to a friend of mine. I was kind of like, well, when did the Versus battle start getting hosts? Because they didn't used to have hosts. It used to be just the artists and then the DJ, and that was it. So I don't know if this was a special occasion.
I think it was, because I know that Steve has mentioned several times throughout his career how much he loves Earth, Wind, and Fire as well as the Isley Brothers. So who knows? He could have asked, like, hey, if you all ever get this, to ever come to fruition, like, hey, I want to host it. He could have, like I said, somebody actually came to him like, hey, we know that you look up, you admire them. How would you feel about hosting this particular battle and things like that? But honey, he was sharp that night. He was sharp.
Let me just say, yeah, he was, and they all were. They all were. Okay, especially Mr. Isley.
Honey, that's Silver Fox right there.
AKA Mr. Beats for the younger generation, because that's probably how y'all know him as. He was looking good.
He was.
Had the beard and whatnot. I guess this is a new look he trying. I'm here for it personally. But yeah. And some of the songs that they played during the versus battle, I was just like, yo, I didn't even know that the Isley Brothers sung this.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't until maybe like within recent years that I found out that they sung Shout. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I think I thought the Temptations sung it because, in the Temptations movie, they sung Shout.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I had thought. But anyway, it was really good. Long, but really good.
So how do you feel about, here we go back to this cancel culture. So there are some people who are outraged that the Isley Brothers would even select to do a song that involved R. Kelly, with everything that has gone on with him, as far as like being with the underage girls and things like that. Like, how do you feel about some of the outrage that's surrounding them?
Okay, so I actually saw some of the, I think it might have been on the Shade Room or whatever, where some of the people was commenting from Twitter about, R. Kelly, why they played that song, whatever. I personally was expecting them to play the song with R. Kelly, because that actually was one of their biggest hits. But for those who watched the Versus battle, like, that was actually a song that Ryan Isley performed. Like, because sometimes they would sing the songs, and then sometimes they would just like play the music. This was one where he actually got up and he sang, but he only sang his verses in the song. So like when it got to the R. Kelly part, cut off. So I'm thinking that he probably was like, okay, this is one of our biggest hits. Let's go ahead and play this. I personally didn't have a problem with it because I'm just like, that's a hit. Yeah. You can't deny, like, however you feel about R. Kelly, just like we mentioned in the last episode, however you feel about R. Kelly, you can't deny his musical talent. You know what I'm saying? The man put out hits after hits after hits, wrote a lot of hits for a lot of your favorite artists out there, whatever. Like I said, I am no means, saying that I am like Team R. Kelly in terms of like the stuff that he did. I'm not. But the music is good. in my opinion. So I was actually happy that they performed Contagious. What you think?
I don't have a problem. Like I said, I can separate the individual from the musician. And so it goes back to, like you said, I mean, it's not only R. Kelly. We've had, you know, a lot of different musicians. You had actors, actresses, performers, and things of that nature that end up in different type of scandals and whatnot. But at the end of the day, they were gifted when it comes to this particular talent or skill set. And like I said, that's nothing that we can sit up here and take away from them. Once again, you have every right to feel the way that you feel about somebody. If moving forward you don't want to support them, then, you know, don't subscribe to their social media, don't purchase any of their merch and things like that. And yeah, that's pretty much my stance. Like I said, he's great at what he does. Like, I mean, R. Kelly, we have some of the best like cookout family reunion music, you know, because of him, along with some other genres and things like that. But like I said, you cannot deny his artistry at the end of the day. You can try, but that's something that you won't be able to take away from him. But at the same time, like I said, what he did outside of that in his personal life, that's something totally different. That's the avenue, like I said, I don't necessarily support. But like I said, when it comes to his musicianship, man, he's still the king. He's still the king of R&B.
That he is. Let's go to some of these comments.
Yes.
Hi, ladies. Thank you for all your wonderful conversations. Thank you, Dr. Bridges.
Thank you.
Which it was very long. I loved it, but went to sleep too. Okay, so I wasn't alone on that. And Gwen also said, I love the Isley Brothers. I didn't have a problem with them singing the songs produced by R. Kelly. It's Ron Isley hit too. That part.
Exactly, Gwen.
That part. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm wondering if it was his decision to like cut it off at R. Kelly's part, or he was just like, you know, I ain't trying to really go there, so I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just wondering, because, you know, he could have played the whole song.
Yeah.
Because, you know, R. Kelly's part be the one that be fire to me, that his whole part with Shantae Moore. But anyway, nonetheless, or whatever. So the song was still performed during the Verzuz battles. And the song Busted too. You remember their song Busted?
Yes, I remember that one.
They performed that one too.
So, cuz let me ask you this. So in Verzuz battles of the past, usually there is a so-called winner. In your opinion, because I got my own opinion, after watching the battle, like I said, like y'all, I didn't watch all of it. I probably watched about a good hour or so. Do you think that there's one group that is better than the other? Are they on level playing field? Like, what's your feedback on
are you talking about this particular battle or just in general?
Just this particular battle.
Okay, so let me just say this. Coming into this, I was Team Isley Brothers all the way. And that was mainly because I was able to identify more Isley Brothers songs than Earth, Wind, and Fire, because I only knew like a handful of songs by Earth, Wind, and Fire just off the top of my head. But when I actually started listening and watching the battle, and then, you know, a lot of Earth, Wind, and Fire songs were being played. I realized, I was like, okay, I actually know this song by them. And I was just like, okay. Now let me just say this. When they performed Reasons, they won that round to me. Because that is my favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire song. Just like when the Isley Brothers performed Between the Sheets and For the Love of You, they won those respected rounds. So with that being said, to me, it was a tie. I thought both were good. Both are legends in this game, and both will be respected as such. So I can't really pick a winner.
I agree with you. Both of them had these hits will be remembered, you know, until the end of time. And so both groups are legends in their respective rights, their respective abilities. Like, I could not watch and be like, oh, like you said, there were moments like, okay, you know, Earth, Wind, and Fire, y'all did that, or Isley, okay, I see what you're doing. But overall, like I said, kudos to both of them. And even after all of these years, they still look good. They're still putting out hits, and it's like they get fine. They're like wine. They get, they get better as time progresses. Because, like I said, yeah. Do your thing, Ron. Do your thing.
Well,
Do your
okay.
thing.
Let's calm down a little bit. I mean, he was looking nice, but
he was looking nice. Now he was looking nice.
You were really feeling him wrong.
Yes. And that was a time, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really attracted to, I don't want to say, mature men.
Seasoned. I call them seasoned.
Seasoned, yes. But as I am growing into my womanhood, like, yes, honey, give me a seasoned man any day.
Let me find out you want you a granddaddy.
No, I didn't say that. No, Shaniqua. Now there are still some limits. There's still some limits. I don't want to be dating. I love my dad, but don't necessarily want to be dating men in that age realm, and things of that nature. But hey, yes, like I said, he was very, very handsome. Very handsome that night.
It was the beard for me.
Yes. Oh yeah, his beard game was on point.
Yes. So, and he got a young wife too, by the way.
I can't believe that.
She was in that group. You remember that group JS back in the day?
Yes.
He's married to one of them.
I did not know that. So that's new information for me.
Yeah. So that's that. Now let me ask you. There's been quite a few versus battles that's been going on. And for those that don't know, we just talking about versus battle. We probably didn't even give you a backstory for those that didn't know. Okay, so versus battle started basically during the pandemic last year when it first started. The purpose of it, because we couldn't have like no concerts and stuff like that. So basically, it's a way to honor artists. It's not literally like a battle where they be duking it out and nothing like that. It's literally where you have these two artists. They both perform like a song each. I think it's 20 songs each, and they do basically one artist performs or sings one, then the other artist goes. So it's kind of like they go back and forth. And to me, it's basically supposed to be just appreciation of the artist's music and things like that. But even though sometimes people do pick they faves or whatever, they like, oh, this person got this or whatever. But anyway, that's how the versus battles came about. So what I wanted to ask you, Lakeisha, was out of the versus battles that you may have seen, do you have a favorite?
Well, of course, I am a big, huge Babyface fan. So when that versus battle came out, I thought that he did amazing. Even with all of the technical difficulties with Teddy, I felt like, Babyface, he held it together. He was very encouraging. He did not, he didn't put down, because, some people can be savages when it comes to the music industry. Let's be honest. But like I said, he held it together. Of course, those of us who follow the versus battles, we know that they had to end up doing a part 2 of it because of everything that was going on. But like I said, I just thought both times Babyface did a phenomenal job, and he's another artist to me that continues to put out great music.
Oh yeah.
It just speaks to your heart, your mind, spirit, and soul. So kudos to him on that. I was very much in awe by Patty. I love Patty. Grew up on Patty LaBelle, as well as Gladys. As well, I thought that was another good battle. An artist I had been sleeping on since our teenage years was Ashanti. I'm a big Keisha Cole fan, don't get me wrong, but I had been underestimating Ashanti's vocal range. Like, Ashanti really can sing, like she can really throw down. And so I would love to just see more from her moving forward in her career. I think a lot of people over the years have really just slept on her and just basically just seen her, oh, she's the pretty, she's a pretty chick. And when she is, she's very attractive, but there's more to her than her body and how she looks. Like, this girl is really, really talented. So I just hope that she gets the right, team backing her so we can hear, more, because she put out some hits. Don't get me wrong. I just want to hear some more, from her.
She did. And let me just say this. I'm glad that you brought this up about Ashanti, because people dog her out like nobody's business. I personally am Team Ashanti, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I think that she is a great artist. You can't deny that she has had a lot of hits. She has had, hits with other artists. I mean, the whole Ja Rule, Ashanti thing, collaboration, I'm always here for that. They pretty much made the 2000s, in my opinion, the early 2000s at least. She basically broke a lot of Guinness World Records and things like that. And I definitely agree with you. Like, I would love to see her continue to thrive. I know she had put out a song after she did the Verzuz battle with Keisha Cole, and I actually liked the song. I thought it was a very good song. And but I do want to continue to see more from her. So I'm glad that you actually gave her some praise, because I don't feel like she gets a lot of praise.
Yeah.
And at one point, she was like kind of up there. People can debate me on this, but they was like having her up there with Beyonce at one point. If you remember, like when she first came out, like Beyonce with the her first solo album, like the Crazy in Love and all that stuff like that, they was like comparing her with Ashanti. Like they was up there on the same level or whatever. Then Beyonce, just really blew up and just kind of like took over the game. But don't sleep on Ashanti.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't really a fan of their Verzuz battle though. I was very disappointed. Primarily because with her and Keisha Cole, primarily because I didn't feel like that was a fair battle for Ashanti. I would have put her with someone else, honestly.
Who would you have pitted her against?
Like Maya or somebody.
That would have been good.
Or maybe Sierra. Like Keisha Cole was better for me with K Michelle. That's who I would have put her with, because I think they have similar styles and things like that. Okay, random side note. We know that y'all, most likely this is probably Dre. We know that you are Team Beehive, okay? Beyonce. We know this. But shout out to random side note. But yeah, so I just didn't think that was a fair Verzuz battle for her. Okay. My favorites, I definitely enjoyed Brandy and Monica.
Yes.
I really like that one. I really liked the Patty and Gladys Knight one. I liked this one. The Earth, Wind and Fire and Ice was just so daggone long, but I still liked it. My dream Verzuz battle that has not come to fruition yet, and I hope it does. I need like a Jodeci Drew Hill one.
Oh,
I need that in my life. I need
that would be good.
I need to see the battle between KC and Cisco. I need this. So Verzuz, come on, make this happen. I really want this. Seriously. But and the upcoming one, there's gonna be an SWV and Escape Verzuz battle that's coming up on Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. I can't wait.
Okay, let me just say, I had my reservations about this one in the beginning, primarily because, again, my opinion, I personally would have preferred SWV with TLC, only because I felt like they kind of was more on the same level to me in terms like when they first came out, like back in the 90s. Because when you think of like a lot of the girl groups from back in the 90s that were really popular, that was like mainstream, you would think of like TLC to me and then SWV or whatever. Because I just personally think Escape was more like in the R&B world, in my opinion. I just felt like SWV had a little bit more crossover appeal because everybody know Weak. You know what I'm saying? But I don't necessarily feel that a lot of people, just my personal opinion, knew a lot of Escape songs. But I get why they put them together because of, you know, the similarities and, you know, music and things like that. But I would have preferred to see TLC and SWV.
And who's to say, because they could have asked, you know, TLC maybe had a baby.
Because TLC, I think it might have been Shirley or whatever, was asked in an interview, would they ever do a Verzuz battle? And she was just like, yeah, you know, they would. and they asked who would you want to go against, and they said either SWV or Escape, but they can't do it now because they together.
Yeah.
So maybe TLC may show up for their versus battle.
Hey, you never know.
But that's just personally what I wanted to see.
Have you ever seen any of them perform in person? I've seen SWV perform live, and they live up to their name. They are definitely sisters with voices. They put on a show. They look phenomenal, and like I said, their voices are still rich. Their artistry, their musicianship is, they still got it going on, just like when they first came out and things like that. I haven't seen Escape perform, but I followed them as a teenager growing up. I remember used to make the cassette tapes, listening to the radio, waiting for their song to come on so I could record it, and listen to it later on in the day and things like that. So I'm looking forward to see what songs each of them are going to bring to us and things like that. And if the fans have a favorite, like they've done in prior versus battles, or will this also end in a tie in a very similar situations, like the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire?
I just wonder if with SWV and Escape, if they're going to actually perform, because I think I enjoy versus battles where they actually perform, like they actually sing the songs. Like, I don't necessarily want to hear you play a tape. You know what I'm saying? I can do that myself, pull up something on YouTube, on Spotify or whatever, and listen to your music. But to me, I think I just really appreciate the performances more. So I'm just wondering if they would actually perform during their versus battle.
Well, we'll see in a couple of weeks, several weeks.
Do you have a dream versus battle you'd like to see?
I do, but unfortunately, one of the artists, has passed on. When this whole concept came out, going back to 90s babies, I would have loved to see Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey do a versus battle.
That would have been dope.
Yep. I would have loved to see it.
I think that would have been good too.
Yeah. Because both of them came out around the same time. Their vocal styles are very similar and things like that. And they've just added so much richness to the game when it comes to R&B and things like that. And so I would have loved to see them now as grown women with families who've been through the ins and outs of the industry, for us to pay them their respects and to love on them and to celebrate them for all the music, that they have created over the years.
I agree with that. I would love to see that too. I would also love to see a Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans one. Personally, that's another dream one of mine. I don't think Mary want to do one though, because she's kind of seemed like she wasn't interested in doing one when she was asked in the interview. But that's one that I wouldn't mind seeing. Okay. Looks like Gwen is with me. She wants to also see a Jodeci and Drew Hill versus, and she says she loves Escape. That's her group. I do too. I like them too. All right. Oh, there's also going to be a Method Man and Redman versus too.
Yes.
Coming up. So, even though I don't think they should be against each other, ain't they friends?
They are friends. It's friendly. Yeah, it's friendly,
Yeah, so I was just trying to figure out how they was able to come together to do a versus battle, but anyway. So, there anything else? Because I know our time is starting to wind down.
Nothing else that I can think of. Like I said, it was so much that's been happening in the past several weeks that we can, talk about and things like that. But we could be on here forever and a day. As the news is forever changing, as we know. What's news today won't necessarily be news in a couple of seconds, or even in the next couple of weeks. So
that's true. It's constantly changing minute by minute.
Yes.
Yeah. So as we get ready to close, we want to go ahead and end it with our insightful moment. Basically, a few weeks ago, we put out a post where we were asking you all to send us what you consider to be your insightful moment. whether it was a poem, a quote that you live by, whatever have you, just anything that you felt just gave you some insight. And we had a few submissions, and we want to highlight the insightful moments that we get. And so we're going to choose basically one, per episode. And so the one that we're choosing now is from Mitzi. She follows us on Instagram, and she basically put a great one. So I'm going to share it right now. She said, I guess one of the most insightful moments for me is learning that my life before meeting Christ was something he could and would use to be an example, a warning and guide for others. That knowledge took any shame or guilt my flesh or the devil was trying to heap on my head away. My repentance and the work of the cross took all that away. I was then free to be wholly who God was going to turn me into. This freed my mind, my body, and spirit. I could rest in his truth and peace every day. I no longer had to live by the faulty, changeable standards of the world in what I was as a woman, worth, beauty, intelligence, and a believer. My path was made clear now, and as long as I was walking with and in him, no matter the bumps, stalls, or endings, I was going to be good. Thank you for that, Mitzi. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her. And to all of the individuals, because like I said, we did have several of you all who submitted your insightful moments. So just want to first and foremost thank you for taking time, out of your schedule to submit something to us. Some of you all submitted your moments, via Facebook. The majority came through our Instagram page and things of that nature. So we are forever grateful for you all, and just always looking for ways that we can beef up and make better what it is that we do when it comes to you all. So most definitely keep the insightful moments coming. We look forward to them.
Yes. So definitely, you don't necessarily have to wait until we put a post out about it. You can send them at any time. You can DM it to us on our Facebook and Instagram. You can follow us at Insight Combo WSL. Or you can also email it to us at our Gmail account, insightfulconversations37@gmail.com. So there's multiple ways that you can send it to us. But like I said, definitely make sure that you are liking and following us on Facebook and Instagram. Okay. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also go ahead, while you're watching this, go ahead and hit that like button on this video. Show us some love or whatever. Because, like Keisha said, we definitely want to, come up with ways that we can definitely just put out great products for you all and things like that with great content. So we definitely doing this for you all. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely want to make sure that we're talking about stuff that y'all want to hear.
And not even just with the insightful moments. If you have any suggestions, any ideas of content that you would all like us to, put a voice to or to speak about, most definitely reach out to us in that regard as well. Like I said, we read each and everything that you send to us, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ugly stuff is probably going to end up getting you blocked, but that's okay. As well, we've had to block some people already, just being inappropriate. And things like that. But like I said, if y'all got things that y'all want to, y'all want to hear about, or you all want us to go into more depth, you want us to bring in a particular person, if we can get them on the podcast, by all means, let us know, and we will try our best to make it happen for you all.
Yes. And if y'all have any suggestions on people that y'all want us to talk to,
yes,
shoot it in our DMs, let us know. Because like I said, we definitely want to make sure that we are putting out great content for you all. So like I said, you can definitely watch us on Facebook and YouTube, our episodes. But for those that don't like to watch episodes and prefer to listen, especially while they're working or while they're driving in their car, you can listen to us on all major podcast platforms. All right. Do you have anything else?
That's it, cuz.
Okay. I don't have anything else either. So until the next time, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Look at random side note.
What did random side note say? Who y'all blocked?
Who y'all blocked? Random side note, we had some guys, we'll put it that way, reached out to us asking us for some inappropriate favors. So yeah, they had to get blocked. We are not them type of women.
Blocked with the quickest.
With the quickness. Period.
Definitely blocked.
Yes.
So yeah. So, but anyway, all hearts and minds are clear.
Yes.
Okay. Thank y'all for definitely tuning in, the ones that watched tonight and that left comments and things like that. But like I said, go back and make sure y'all definitely like this video. And definitely go back and watch our other episodes too that we have put out. So until the next time, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Y'all continue to make sure that y'all taking care of yourselves and each other and live your best life now. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.
Bye.